بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. Inshallah, this is hopefully a good start for a project that was only born last year. The idea developed based on the fact that we here as Muslims in this society have our own principles and have our own standards, which really want our children to grow up believing in. And when we looked around and we studied the different options that we have as Muslims, we found two things, or two obstacles. One was affordability, and second was standards. Some places have standards they don't, or are not affordable to the majority of Muslims. And some, or maybe I could not find any affordable places. So, but neither one of them was affordable as well as at high standards or standards. So we decided to do something, and we decided to give an alternative to our children. As I said before, and I repeat it many times, we're not trying to compete with anyone, because the Islamic schools has reached my attention that they're upset, because some of their students coming here decided to join our academy. Our intent was not to target those. Our main objective was to reach to the students who are in public systems. We're not happy with public systems. No parents should be happy with public systems, especially Muslims. What you need, as I said before, to spend 1 week following the news, whether it's TV, whether it's internet, whether newspapers, 1 week. And just see the stories that, or the stories that take place in public schools. And if you still a concerned parent, or you are, then most probably you will have nightmares knowing that your children are in public school. There is corruption amongst the students, corruption in staff, corruption in teachers, and cases are running right now. So it's very important for us to understand the danger. It's not about learning how to recite a few surahs here and there. This is not the objective. It's not about learning alphabet in Arabic. It's not a big deal. Our goal is to raise a new generation. Our children are our future. That's what we want to do. We want to have something called tamayyuz. Muslims are different. We are different. Christians are different than other people. Jews are different. So why is it Muslims cannot say they're different? We're different. We got our own principles. We got our own objectives in life. We got our own purpose in life, different than other people. Public schools do not provide that. Islamic schools are failing to provide that, because they are becoming public schools very much, with just a name, and Arabic here and some Islam here. We want to rise beyond that. The Reviver Academy, from its name, Revival, bringing something new into life. We're trying to revive something that is missing. And the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah Azza wa Jal sends every 100 years for this ummah someone who's going to revive this deen for it. We want those individuals who are going to revive the deen from here. We want to produce individuals who can revive. Amma, having children who are 15 and 16 years old. And when you ask one of them, what's your goal, what you want, tells you a video game. That doesn't fly. There's not much hope in someone like that to take this ummah to a next level. We want to make individuals and children, raise them to know why they're here. Look at havoc and corruption in the world today. Genocides and killing and drugs and financial problems and this and that. Who controls the world today? Corrupt people. It's a group of mafia who are corrupted in their minds and their agendas, whether from presidents to congresses to governments to privates, whatever it is. All their concern is how to make more money, how to abuse other people, say they can get more. Just heard last week, a guy here in Hallandale Beach, he works in Hallandale Beach, they call him, lifeguard. He got fired because he saved someone's life. Why he got fired? Isn't his job to save people who are drowning? They fired him because when he saved the guy outside the borders of his working area, he's supposed to work in this space, he saved the guy outside who was drowning outside the space. That's the mentality. If you want to get better future for mankind, you have to raise individuals who don't think like mankind today. That's why we want, that's what we need this Reviver Academy for. That's what we want to achieve. Science, social studies, mathematics, great. But why and how they're going to relate this to their life? That's most important. We want to get out of this dry education. What's education in America today? It's a system that is producing individuals who are completely controlled. Go read and see what they say, the experts. Non-Muslims, I'm not talking about Muslims. The children are raised in America in the system, in the public system, like robots. That's the fact. They are slaves of the system. The system controls them the way they want. How you explain the world is going into havoc and into destruction, and you find individuals or millions of people, all they care about is the football game. It's happening to the society. We're Americans. We're part of this. What goes on to this country goes on us as well. We are, as we believe as Muslims, as Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Quran, you are the best nation brought forth. But Allah does not leave it like that. Just because you're Muslim, you're the best. That Allah does not say that. Allah Azza wa Jal says, best nation produced forth to mankind. That means if you want to be the best, you have to be contributor to mankind. And we believe deep that public system is not going to produce such individuals. Yeah, they might be good here and there, but not to the standards of the Quran, not to the expectation of the Creator. That's what we want to do. We want to make individuals and produce individuals and raise individuals, children who grow up to lead, to be leaders, to be contributors. We got enough consumers in this society. وكما قيل إن لم تزد في الدنيا فأنت زيادة عليها قال الرافعي. He said, if you cannot contribute to the dunya or to the world, you're just extra addition on the world. You're a burden. We want people, every individual who's going to go to Reviver Academy, we want and we expect from them to grow up to be contributors. We live in a world where the person himself has become, the human has become the commodity. We consume so much, we became consumed. And that is when we divorce between worldly things, material world, and the godly world. As long as we keep separating and convincing ourselves that there is no connection between the Creator and the creation, and the creation is free to do whatever He wants, we will continue to suffer. Here is the modern world example. Civilized world and civilized West Europe and America. Yeah, they got a lot of great things going on. But trust me, destruction is much easier than building. What it takes to build a month, you can destroy in an hour. And that is the reality happening in the world. Since the collapse of the Islamic Empire, the Ottoman Empire, at the beginning of last century, what happened to the world? Look at how many wars took place. Look how many millions got killed by other people. This didn't happen in thousands of years, for thousands of years before last century. We don't have records that millions of people got killed by other people. Here is the civilized world. Here is the world who decided to divorce God from their life. Who said God got nothing to do with how we want to live. Great. So how many wars you got? World War I and World War II. Just flying and bombing people. How many millions got killed there? Go check. And then they come to talk about violence and all that. You're violent. How could you preach what you don't practice? So very important. Our goal is to fix the world. We're not living for a masjid. We're not living for one community. We want to fix the world. We got what it takes. Muslims have the solution. Islam is a way of life. This religion is not. We don't have Rijal Deen, as other religions have. The idea of separation between church and government and all that, state, we don't have that idea. Because we don't have the same mentality. Why Christians, for example, decided to separate? Because the church abused the people. The church was in power in Europe in the Middle Ages. That's why people hate science or hate religion. Every time a scientist comes up, they kill him. They burn him. They hang him. Islam is different. We don't have that in our religion. Islam encourages science and encourages knowledge. The Quran is full of scientific facts that were not discovered until recently. Islam encourages the mind to think, for people to use their mind and intellect to succeed and excel. That's why there should not be this idea, you want religion in everything. Religion is everything. When people don't commit crimes because they're scared of the law, then when the law is absent, it will be a disaster. But when people do not commit crimes because their consciousness, then nothing changes. When they live believing that God is watching, it doesn't matter where they are, who they are, where they are, and at what time and the circumstances. That's what we want to do. Reviver Academy is a very simple idea. It's not very complicated. We're not saying we're going to only teach them Quran. We're not saying we're going to only teach children Arabic. We're going to teach them science. and we're going to teach them English and literature. We want doctors, and we want engineers, and we want lawyers. Because unfortunately we live in a world that these are the professions that are respected. If you want to be a leader, you have to have something where people are going to respect you for. People don't value religion anymore. People actually laugh at you if you say, I'm going to pray. Actually, they change even the wording. No pray. No, people don't pray anymore. People meditate. Even the terminology they change. So what we want to do here, we want to teach them science. But we want to teach them that it's not Mother Nature who created rivers and heavens. We want to teach them geography. We want to teach them literature. Not so they can get an A or a good grade. So they can understand why they're here. Why it takes a guy, as in the news yesterday, a father goes walking to his house, 3 daughters, the oldest is 11, he decides to slaughter the 3 of them. Why? That's in this society, because he lost his job. This guy was raised empty. He was never taught why he's here. And this is something becoming common. The guy goes home, gets fired, goes home, everyone is dead. How can you feel safe in such society? We Muslims got something that we can give to the whole world. They want you to believe that you're not. They want you to believe you're a bad guy. We know what we are. We don't need our enemies to tell us who we are. We want to produce a generation that are confident of who they are. We're not violent people. We don't care about converting everyone into Islam. We don't want to kill everyone. But they made us believe that way. To the point where we're scared, we're changing our names. So perhaps we, the adults, are lost cause. So we need to invest in the new generation. We need to show the world what Muslims can do. We can do other stuff. We can give the world a better option. So that we were giving our children a better option now, those children will grow up to give the whole world a better option. That's very much the idea. I told you, it's very simple. How are we going to do it? That's what the principal is going to tell you. But we will do it by the grace of Allah and by the will of Allah. We'll do it, and we believe we will do it. Because Allah Azza wa Jal knows very well our intention. Our intention is very simple. To make this world better. For us as Muslims, and for entire humanity. God created Muslims, or orders Muslims to do that. That's why He said, you're the best nation for the rest of the people, not for yourself. Most important, myself, and I care less about, or I don't care about the whole world. La. A Muslim cares about everyone. But does he care about everyone the way he cares about himself? Not necessarily. We don't. We care about ourselves more. Are you going to lie to you and tell we love everyone just the same way? No. But what we have is something so precious that mankind has completely made to forget it. That's what we want to prove. Very simple. We move on to the next speaker. So inshallah I'll come back here and talk more about the program. But keep in mind, this is not an Islamic school. Okay? This is not just an Islamic school. This is a place that we are aiming to produce leaders. Leaders who are going to lead this world. You might say this guy is nuts. Oh, fine. Come back in 20 years. We'll talk. I believe we can do. It's like any idea. It's born very little. So, inshallah, as we go on in the program today, we will get to learn more and see what we will provide and what we are thinking about as a plan. Alright? So, inshallah, I'll be back to talk about other stuff that no one wants to talk about. So, thank you very much. Jazakallah. We didn't speak much about the Arabic and Islamic Studies program. Honestly, due to the time restraint, we're going to use the systems that are existing. And we studied them. We have specialized individuals who studied those systems for Arabic and for Islamic studies. The ones that are in the market and the ones that are being used by Islamic schools. And we decided to go with two of them, one for the Islamic studies and one for the Lugha Arabiya, Arabic language. And we believe that they are the best. However, we will be working in the meantime to develop our own program because our objectives are different. As I said in the beginning, what we're trying to achieve is different than what those systems are designed to achieve. One of the things that is very important for us is, as well as the children can read the Quran, we want them to understand it as well. Conversing is very important for them to be able to carry a conversation. Now someone might say, how can you teach them that? I know friends who went overseas, who did not speak any Arabic. That was when I was in Philly. They went for 3 months. Some went to Jordan, and some went to Cairo. 3 months. And they came back, it was summer program, and they came back, not fluent, but they can carry conversation in Arabic. 3 months. So, I mean, here we have students going and learning Arabic from first grade until 12th grade, and they cannot put a sentence together. So there are some problems. That's what we want to address. And even considering those summer programs for older students is an option also. But anyway, we have chosen the best curriculum or the best systems that we found to teach Arabic and Islamic studies. Of course, some tweaks to it, and one of the focus in Islamic studies will be the Aqidah and Tawheed. These are some things that are not addressed, and they just pass them so quick, a few minutes and move on. That's one of the things that we will be focused on. We will have the Quran programs. There will be Quran memorization during the school time, and then also will be after school programs for Quran. Okay? You cannot get the children to memorize how much you want only during an hour for Quran, but there will be after school programs and weekend programs for Quran memorizations and special programs for that. That's very much what we will make sure that the authentic knowledge of Islam is addressed and taught to the children. We're gonna teach them Aqidah, to be proud of who they are and to know who they are. That is very important. About transportation, what we are thinking now, and it's all dependent on how many students will come from different areas. Brought to my attention that some interested from Boynton Beach to attend. So it depends, and whatever is feasible. And we hope we got some helicopters we can send out. So it will be quick, but we don't. Maybe in the future. What we were thinking as of now, and all again dependent on the number of students from different areas, is to have shuttle going from Masjid Pompano, so at Pompano Beach, Masjid Pompano, will be a pickup station, and Masjid al-Iman, a pickup station, which is the same bus coming on I-95. From the south, we're thinking about pickup in Masjid al-Ihsan, pick up from Masjid al-Ihsan, and pick up, if you go in south, you go Turnpike, so pick up at Masjid al-Ihsan and pick up maybe in Dura, somewhere off the highway in Dura. The idea of carpooling is very excellent idea as well. Maybe families can divide the load and make a schedule amongst them to drive their children in a van or whatever. There are many options, inshallah. But once we know how many coming from where, then we will be able to put a very good package and good plan for transportation. Maybe we go some west, some brothers maybe with a minivan or something, they can go to Miramar or in that area, you know, a lot of Muslims there. It's all dependent on numbers, who's coming and where they're coming from. And there will be a form there to register if you're interested in transportation. And I don't know, what else? What else needs to be mentioned? We're going to talk about tuition.
We need just to allow people to go and see the things are open for lecturing.
You don't want to talk about tuition?
Yeah.
Sure. The tuition. You just came now, you want to know about tuition? You want about the system? All right. As I said in the beginning, we wanted to give something affordable. Now, one of the negative things about this whole thing is there is no government funding, okay? Connection Academy, if you are into Connection Academy, that you're not qualified for any scholarships or any of that, right?
Right, they're free of charge.
Because it's free. So what we will be charging for is the accommodation. We will have to charge for the space, we have to charge for the staff, we have to charge for teachers, for employees, for expenses, for all these things. That costs money, for utilities, for internet, for computers, for a lot of things. But our goal, as I said before, we want to reach a point where we will be self-sufficient. Our goal is to give an option for everyone. Everyone can afford. How that's achieved, don't worry about that. That's in the plan. We're thinking about how we're going to do it. But we can't from first year. It's just impossible. And even with the tuitions or the number we threw out from the beginning, most probably we will not be able to cover all expenses. We're going to seek other avenues to compensate for the difference. But again, we cannot go so high, so we can make sure that the budget is met. We want to give an option, and I hope everyone understands that. The number that we came up with, and actually that was without any thinking. We just thought that is reasonable, and many of the brothers or many of the families can afford it. It's $2,500 per year. Okay, $2,500 per child for the 10 months, and that will be for the school. In the morning it will be, we're not charging for Connection Academy, as I said, but the second program, the second part of the day, which is Islamic Studies and Quran, well, that's completely separate than Connection Academy. That requires expenses. There will be teachers. Also, Connection Academy has teachers and coaches and all that. So that costs money. That's why we're charging. We're not like, you're not saying, oh, Connection Academy is free, why they're charging? No, it doesn't work like that. Another thing is they will be charged for the uniform. Be charged for the books, okay? All that comes along, but very much the tuition is $2,500. And as we said, we have a facility of 30,000, about 6 square feet. which means the more students we will have, most probably the lower we can go in tuition. And you never know, maybe next year if we are successful inshallah this year, and I know we will be in Allah Azza wa Jal, that will attract a lot of families to be in, because a lot of people are afraid now. Even some brother was telling me yesterday that he was considering sending his children to us, but he changed his mind. I said, why? He said, because he was told, and that's when the women and sister love to talk without knowing what they're talking about, because he said, women told his wife in the masjid that we're gonna only teach them Quran. And then after they finish with us, they have to go home and spend 4 hours in front of the computer. That's what they were spreading. That English and math and science, we're not responsible about. We're gonna only teach. Actually, in Texas, brother was telling me just today, in Texas, they have this program where the children are sent to the school for the whole day for Quran, until 3, Quran and Islamic studies. And when they go home, their family have to sit with them. They use K-12 for the science and math. But it's not feasible for us. I mean, if you're a parent and you're working, or at 5 o'clock you want to sit down with the children, it's just torture to the children. How long they can take. Most probably they run away after a couple of weeks. But the point is, no. This program, the schedule is, I mean, we can change that. It depends on the students, but the schedule is in the morning will be the sciences, the academics, the Connection Academy, and in the afternoon will be the Islamic studies and the Quran, or the other way around. Or some will go this way, some will go that way for the availability of teachers, and then the afternoon it switch. Whatever it is, whatever it will take. But it's a full program, as you saw in the presentation, on the academic side, and a full program on our side, the Islamic studies and the Quran and the Arabic language. Okay? And I think the Arabic language also will count toward foreign language, no?
Yes, for the high school.
For the high school also, that will fulfill foreign language, so they don't have to learn Chinese. Okay? So it's 2,500 per student over 10 months. If you give the whole amount one shot, it will be 2,500. If you give it over 10 months, it will still be 2,500. I'm just giving you options. More students, more children for the same family. The issue is, it's just that the fee itself is so low to go lower. But we will consider, okay? We will see what we can do. But this is what I want you to think as a parent, as a mother or a father. Think beyond your child. Remember, we said we want to establish a generation that think beyond themselves, contributors. Think about your child. Maybe you can come and convince us that you're sending 3 children to give you a discount, this and that, expensive. So maybe you get $100, $200, $300, I don't know how much off. But you can afford it, and no problem with it. By doing that, you give us the chance to give the opportunity to accept someone else that we can give him that discount, and without that discount he will not attend. Just think. That's how we live for each other. Okay? So if you're comfortable financially and you got 2 or 3 children, don't hustle for discount. You have 2,500. But still, inshallah we'll see. We'll have to look case by case. But again, the idea is we are giving something special to your child, which is not valued by money. Let's be honest. And what is 250 a month? Okay, how much discount are you gonna get? Cut on the cable. You don't have to have cable. Most probably your child will not be watching cable if he's going to my school. You know? Cut him cables. Cut him this, cut him that. Don't give him soda every day. You save that discount you're gonna get. But let's think higher. It's very important to think that we need students, we need money for this project to succeed. And once it picks up, and once self-sufficient, then we will not be running after money. There is no one is making any penny out of this. And this is completely non-profit. And this is completely for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jalla. And this is completely to save our children from the hell of public schools. And I mean it. That's it. So it's not a project for someone who only got children, or for only people with children. This is a project for every Muslim who feels responsibility toward this society. So let's think that way before you come and you approach me about discount and about this. Think that way. And then think where I can cut off. As I said, this $250 a month will not make it for us. We will be running all around, trying to make and collect money to support the whole project. So be responsible the way that we're trying to be responsible. Okay? So let's think at large and think beyond our own selves. So inshallah there will be the registration, there will be the books there, the presentation, whatever they want to show you, Connection Academy. Here is the uniform. There's registration for transportation, and inshallah we will be around if you have special or specific questions about your situation. And it's very important. As you see, this masjid, alhamdulillah, is full today, but we need the word out, okay? We need the word out. You need to go and convince people to join this option. I'm not telling you go to some students and parents who are students in Islamic school. That's something important. Go to people whose kids are in public school. From those pedophiles, these teachers, some of them, those predators. You see them, he's 60, 70 years old, teacher of elementary. And you see what he's doing. Feel that responsibility. How could you sleep? How could you feel safe dropping off your child who's 6 and 7 or 10 and 11 and knowing there are sick people out there like that who have no consideration for God, who don't care about anything, who's not scared of anything, and they think they will never be caught. Administrations are involved in hiding these things because funding. Because if my school becomes well known that there's bad guy in there, I lose funding. So what they do? Cover it up. So let's try to give our children, we chose to live in this country. This country is great with opportunities. Maybe we won't find same opportunities any other way in the world. But the fact is, there's nothing perfect in this dunya. There are a lot of negative things that we are obligated as parents to protect our children from. Allah, even if we have to cut on food and drink to protect them, that's our responsibility. Or take them and go live in the desert and protect them from all that, so you can sleep on $100 bills, feel comfortable. Why you make money for? For them. So this is an opportunity, inshallah. Okay? But again, also one of the things that they mentioned, difference between other schools and Connection Academy, is that parents need to be involved. And we want parents who want the best for their children. This is not going to be a daycare. This academy, Reviver Academy, is not going to be a daycare. We're not going to teach them something for 4 or 5 hours during the day. And then they go home and you as parents do not care. Or you parents give them things easy for opposite of what we taught them. It's not going to work like that. You will not see in your children what you expect or what we want. We can't build for 5 hours and then get destroyed for 5 hours. We get nowhere. You have to be disciplined as parents, just the way your children expected to be disciplined. What we're going to teach your children in school, if you believe in what we're teaching them, you need to teach them at home as well. We're not going to tell them lying is forbidden, and then all they hear at home is their father telling them to lie on the phone. He's not available. Very important. I'm considering, but maybe not, maybe later. We're going to have evaluation for parents as well. Serious. After I get your money. No, serious. We need very dedicated parents. If you look in Islamic history, and if you look in any history, you will find that successful individuals had behind them a very disciplined mother or father, or both. Imam al-Bukhari, rahimahullah. Who doesn't know in 1.5 billion Muslims? No one ignorant of Imam al-Bukhari. Imam Ahmed. No one doesn't know Imam Ahmed ibn Hanbal. Who raised them? Mothers. Their father died when they were young. Mothers raised them. Father is working. He needs to make money to pay the tuition. Mothers at home need to raise whoever is staying home. That's the reality. That is how Allah made the world. Most of the time, fathers outside, mothers with the children. So you are responsible. You're half of the society, you raise the other half. So you need to stand up for your responsibilities, and you need to know your purpose. These are the mothers who are going to help the academy to produce the individuals we see. The academy on its own will not get anywhere without parents involved heavily. Okay? So that's something to keep in mind. You want your children involved. I'm not going to make it so sweet to you and just send them and just... We're going to run into trouble together in the future. You're going to just drop them off, pick them up, and you think we're going to raise them for you. You're wrong. You need to stand up and be responsible. Yes? Any questions?
We're gonna have like 1 hour for people to finish and then we pray on.
They have the computers for those who need it at home.
Okay. You know that the Connection Academy, as you saw in the presentation, requires each student will have his own unit, his own machine, his own computer. Okay? Now, if you qualify, you can get the laptop,
No, desktop.
desktop for free. Okay?
Internet service.
And you can take it home every day and bring it back. If you can. You can put in a card. Huh? But they own it, right? They have to return it? And end of each year, they have to apply? Like they apply for 1 year. So you can apply for financial aid for the computer. You have to be financially, what's the requirement?
It's a hardship.
Okay, hardship. You apply. There's a form, right?
There's a
You fill a form, and I think I heard if your children going to public school and they qualify for free lunch, you will qualify for free computer. Okay? So you can apply for that and see what happens, inshallah. But now we will have computers. Now we will have computers in the academy.
And they have it at home.
Huh?
Yeah. So you can apply for it and have it at home.
You can apply and have it at home as supplement if you don't have one at home. Okay? So take advantage of this. What else? What free? What else free you got? T-shirts. Okay? So inshallah, let's start this. Let's work together. Let's do something for this community and for the Ummah at large. This is an inception of very important thing that's going to happen for this Ummah. The beginning of this Ramadan, inshallah. Okay? So let's make the effort, let's put our hearts together, let's put our hands together and get it done. So now pass out these stations and see what's going on. Register wherever you need to register. Now register wherever you don't need to register. And learn as much as you want. Ask whatever you want to ask before you leave. Okay, I don't want you to have nightmares about this.
Make sure they fill the uniform.
The uniforms also. خلاص ما هم they're gonna go around and they're gonna come table uniform, they fill uniform. Okay? Uniforms, huh? So whoever wants to talk to me personally, then I'm not available.